One of the things that we hear as women very often is that we shouldn't be hoes and sluts and thoughts, and we should keep our legs closed, and that, we're vixens and Jezebels and all kinds of other things that are labels, negative labels for female sexuality. And when you really think about it, these messages are things that we start hearing from a very young age before we're even interested in sex, before we're even interested in boys. You already start getting programmed that you have to be virginal and pure and have little to no sexual knowledge or experience in order to be pleasing to men. And I have a problem with that. I was sitting around thinking about it, and those of you who know me by now, I sit around and think about stupid shit. Well, not necessarily stupid, but stuff that other people don't really sit around and think about. But it's something I was thinking about because the mindset that women need to remain pure and chaste for the benefit of males is one that's rammed down our throat, not only socially, but primarily based on our associations with various religions. And those religions are a carryover to mainstream society. It's not the other way around. And when you look at that and the teachings that come with those kind of that mentality, is very much it very much limits what women can do to still get the approval of men. I mean, even within relationships, even within marriage, a woman has to be mindful of the fact that her man may be intimidated by her sexual freedom and curiosity, and instead of participating in it with her willingly and joyfully, he'll feel intimidated and frightened and back down and start to question her in an interrogatory fashion about, well, where did you learn that and who taught you that and where you hear that from and who you do that shit with. It's all about his little timid, fragile ego. So the type of man, and let me just tell you, ladies, if you want a man who, will embrace your total freak side, get with a Scorpio, a Sagittarius, or an Aries or a Leo. Leave all the rest of them men alone because they're not going to participate in your freak side and helping you discover it very willingly. I'm speaking from experience. There's certain men that have an open mind about that, and there's men who don't. And the ones who I just said, mentioned to you, do, and most of the other ones don't. You'll find an occasional one who does, but we going with the odds of the house here. If you have a gambler mindset like I do, you go with the odds that's going to bring you the best results the fastest. It's not going to be them other dudes. They too much into what women quote should be. So anyway, that was a little sidetrack. Well, let me get back to my main subject. As a woman, you deserve to enjoy sexual pleasure. You deserve to enjoy your body, especially when it's young and attractive to men, and everything's sitting up high and where it's supposed to be, and this and that. What you do have to do, though, is make sure that you protect your fertility. Your womb should not be used by any man. You should not be breeding children for any motherfucker just because you fucked him. Use your birth control. If your birth control fails, take your black ass, white ass, Chinese ass, whatever you are, to the nearest abortion clinic and take care of business. Do not be having babies by these motherfuckers out here that just want to use you for sex. Now, they're using you for sex. If the sex is good, then you're using them right back. The problem becomes when the sex, from their side is not satisfying to you, then you have every right to dump him and move on to the next dude. Now, when a woman does that, she has frequent changes of lovers, she wants to be labeled and called a whore and all this stuff, a slut, a tramp, all this stuff. When men do it, he's a player. He gets like a round of applause and all kind of kudos. Player, blah, blah, blah. And nobody calls him a whore. But, he's not doing anything different than the same woman would do. So I don't know. I mean, that's an aside. You all can think about that whatever you want to. What I'm trying to talk about, though, is changing women's mindsets about judging both themselves and other women for enjoying their bodies and their sexuality. That's that's why you have it. I mean, you got to think people are like, well, God this and God that. Okay, if you believe that, which I really am not a believer, but whatever. So if you believe that though, then you have to believe that women can experience multiple orgasms for a reason. Why is that? Why is it that a woman can have like all this pleasure from having sex and men only can have it one time, maybe two if he's really good, but a woman can have, 20, 30, 40 orgasms if the dude knows what he's doing. And it's like, why would you deny yourself that? Just to be maintain some image of purity for some man who might, maybe, possibly, sometime in the future, could, maybe, might show up in your life and judge you accordingly. See, I'm not really tripping on that. I do what the fuck I want to do with whoever I want to do it whenever I please because it's me. I was born by myself, I'm going to die by myself, and everything in between is kind of coincidental. But I don't live my life to please men. I don't live my life to gain male approval. I don't give a fuck what men think. This is me. Either take it or leave it. If you can't take it, then fucking leave it. And that's, if more women had that attitude, this idea that men have that they can't have a woman who has sexual experience would die because every woman would have had sexual experience and every woman would proudly own her sexual experience and they would have no option but to either accept it or be gay. You see what I'm saying? So you guys feed into their mental state by going along with this bullshit and labeling other women as as something bad because they have fucked more than one man. So I don't know. I don't really know what to say about all that. Excuse me. But I do know that withholding yourself from okay, let me rewind it. Okay, you don't have to do it. But the thing is, if you want to, if you want to enjoy your sexual uh, pleasures, you don't have to avoid that because you're trying to seek the approval of men. That's my number one point here. Men should not be, and what they might think of you at the future should not be your focus. Well, your focus should be on yourself. Your focus should be on what you want. Your focus should be on what you like. Your focus should be on what is enjoyable for you, what's going to create positive memories for you, what's going to bring you joy, what's going to bring you happiness, what's going to bring you pleasure. Think about yourself. Stop thinking about not doing certain things because of what men want, what men might think. Number one, how the fuck is he going to know who you fucked unless you tell him? How is he going to know, number two, who you fucked unless you are stupid and you do all your dirt in the same neighborhood with the same motherfuckers who know each other? How you going to, I mean, you know what I mean? There's a big world out here. Get your ass on a cruise ship, go on a plane, go somewhere else. Fuck your brains out, go to an island, go to Caribbean, go to another country. I mean, whatever you need to do if that's your concern. But you don't really have to worry about that unless you one of them broads, like I said, who don't have the sense to leave your neighborhood and you fucking Joe, and then Joe is a friend of Jimmy, then you fuck Jimmy, and Jimmy knows John, and then you fuck John. Okay, well, see, you doing too much and you're not really thinking. That's not how you handle your business. You have to do it in a way that gives you what you want, but that also gives them what they want. And I know the people like over at the, crazy channels where they be trying to listen to my videos and then make response videos, they gonna have a field day with this one because I'm totally advocating that women, I pay them the least bit of mind and that women do what the fuck they want to do. And that's how it is. Don't worry about what men think. Don't worry about what men want. Worry about yourself and pleasing yourself. Because think about it. When you're on your deathbed and you're reflecting on your life, what are you going to be thinking about? Is it going to be, regrets for what you didn't do? Or are you going to think about the things that you did do and have that little secret smirky smile? See, I don't want to be one of those women who's thinking about what regrets and what I shoulda, woulda, coulda. I don't want to be that person. I want to be one of those people who thinks, yeah, I did this, I did that. That shit was fun as fuck. This was a good time. That motherfucker was fine. I mean, I want to have those kind of memories when I die. I'm on my deathbed. I'm not trying to think about what I shoulda, woulda, coulda, and dying with regrets for what I didn't do, what I didn't accomplish, what I didn't say, what I didn't feel, what I didn't do, the experience that I didn't have. I don't want to be that person, and I advise that you not either. We're all on this planet for a certain period of time, okay? You have your one life to live. Don't live it for someone else. Live it for yourself. Make sure that what you're doing and is what you want to do. Ladies, come on now. You gotta, have the courage to step outside the box. I know many of you have been taught how to be a woman based on these religious confinements of womanhood. Break free from that shit. That's not who you are. That's who you were told that you should be. That doesn't mean that's who you really are inside. And so you got to have the courage, though, to examine that shit and then leave it alone if it doesn't fit you. If it does, then fine. I'm not saying you have to change. But what I am suggesting is that you have the courage to really think about the messages that you've been given as a girl, how you translated them into your adult life, and what you want to do with yourself from here forward. I'm not saying you just got to be like stupid. You know what I mean? You got to be cognizant of the fact that there's some dreadful diseases out here. There's men who are, on a DL, and they got all kind of HIV and AIDS and stuff creeping up on them, and what you call them, herpes and genital warts and all kind of shit's going on out here. So be mindful of that. Don't be stupid. But what I'm saying is, within those realities, make your assessments and then do what the fuck you want to do. There's no reason for you to have to limit yourself to please men that you don't even know, men that you'll probably never meet, men that don't know shit about you. Don't limit yourself based on what they might possibly maybe think about you when they have no influence on your life and no impact whatsoever. Okay? So that's my thoughts on that whole thing. I think that there's a lot of women who just are really sexually repressed, and it's making them miserable. It's making them unhappy. You can do what you want to do with some kind of reasonable, assessment of the prospects. Like I said, really think about what you're ready to do and who you're ready to do it with. Don't be dumb, but don't think that you have to limit yourself based on what other people's expectations are. The only expectations that really matter are the ones that you put on yourself. And I advocate that. I support you in that decision making. If you need any instruction from that, go to the top of my channel page. You'll see the button that says Get Advice. Click it. Write to me. And we can work that out together before you do something stupid. All right? This is Deb Cooper from SurvivingDating.com, signing out.